Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Last time on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, we wrapped up Part 1 with the final ripple. After the wedding of Jonathan Joestar and Irina Pendleton, the two of them were off to their honeymoon, I suppose, in America. And on their way, they realized that Dio is still alive, even if he was just a head. And Dio, the head, wanted to take JoJo's body. And but even though he couldn't really breathe because his neck was pierced, JoJo was able to basically set the ship to destroy itself. And Irina got a baby that had been killed by, or not killed, but the baby's mother had been killed by a zombie. So Irina saved the baby, got into Dio's coffin, which was, blast proof, and survived. And she also said she was hinting at, I believe, that she is pregnant, but I suppose it's not confirmed. I don't know. We'll find out. But yeah, JoJo is dead. Jonathan Joestar is dead. And Dio Brando, we don't know. Unconfirmed. We did not have, we wouldn't have a body, but we didn't see the head get vaporized. So, I don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, we are moving on into, I guess, Part 2. This is what we always hear about, This is what we always hear about with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Part 2 is better than Part 1. Okay, let's see if they really go balls to the walls. I want to see, I want to see JoJo's Bizarre Adventure actually go balls to the wall. Like, what does that look like on JoJo? Because this show, by definition, is balls to the wall. So what does that look like for JoJo? I have no idea. Let's go ahead and find out, though. Yeah, with that being said, we might as well get right into this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Here we go.
This senior gentleman seems familiar. We definitely know that upright bearing and that scar.
It's good to see you again, Speedwagon. I
Speedwagon?
understand you're an American oil tycoon now.
That's a bit exaggerated.
Oh, he's old.
As young as ever. I envy you.
Oh,
It's
Speedwagon.
been half a century since Jonathan Joestar made his sacrifice.
50
Straight
years?
succeeded Master Tonpetty.
And this is the reason we came here.
What? It can't be! A stone mask!
A mask.
And there are so many of them!
Oh, no.
Tourist, huh? No kid.
Pickpocket.
Big city your home? The
Wow.
nerve of him.
That guy was not
Let
subtle.
that mook steal your wallet. Get
Mook.
after him.
Oh, I love this. We're in New York.
Hello?
Hey, it's the
Hello
people
there.
who got his wallet lifted.
There actually is no crime since that wallet was a gift, Constable.
Is that how that works?
As I said, it was a gift. He and I are good friends. Let him
Oh.
go, please.
The gift to him, I get it.
Why would you do something like that? It's just such an unsavory thing to do.
Oh, he's a gentleman, isn't he?
I probably means that.
Made the
Oh!
wrong move! You stupid pig! Out!
Suddenly,
Hamon.
his body started. Soda cap flew off and flew as fast as a bullet, straight over to snap the cop's finger.
Ooh! An interesting use of Hamon.
Oh, I gave in to my temper again. Crap. I'm in for it.
Oh, no.
Granny Irina's going to be furious.
Granny?
Two cops, but is scared of his grandma?
Well, it's 50 years later. Makes sense, I guess.
Said he could always do things like that.
Oh.
Apparently, his grandpa could do the same kind of things.
He's a
But
prodigy.
He died at a young age.
So he's a
His
grandson,
dad,
okay.
who died in the war. Didn't have any talents like that.
Oh.
Everyone calls me Smokey, and I'd sure like it if you'd tell me your name.
Smokey and the Bandits.
It's Joestar. Joseph Joestar.
Joseph Joestar. Alright. Oh! Part 2, Battle Tendency.
You're hijacking the plane and kidnapping Speedwagon, correct? I am only a bystander. This is his problem. I'm just going to read my story. Do your business and just leave me out of it.
Damn, JoJo.
Wrong answer, Bog! Now move, JoJo!
That's not really the gentleman thing to do. But maybe he's not.
Not good.
His
That
temper.
suit was a gift from Arena. This'll set him off for sure. He's got no sense of self-restraint.
Huh.
Control yourself, JoJo! You fellas did.
So he's not quite the gentleman that his grandfather was.
Oh no!
You just kill him?
Get the pilot ready. We're going to jump.
Oh, he just knocked the pilot out. Yeesh.
But why are you speaking of him now? What the hell?
I just took the lives of all these men.
Why?
And when you lose your life,
No! Straight so!
No!
I shall learn more of the mask than Dio ever could.
Oh,
Don't
no.
do it! The knowledge you're seeking could have terrible consequences!
Oh, no. No, Speedwagon!
What is it you're doing there?
Arena.
I asked what you're doing with that man.
She looks like
Well, you
Integra
see-
Helsing.
Was Speedwagon really Grandpa's best friend? Is that all it was? Come on now. Well, it leads me to wonder if simple friendship was the only relationship that was going on there.
You rogue, you!
Ugh.
Sorry, ow! I was wrong, ow! Forgive me, ow! I know Speedwagon is loyal, ow!
Moron.
That she was pregnant with a son at the time. When he grew up,
Right.
he married a girl who would also survive the wreck. They
Okay.
were JoJo's parents.
Okay.
Later claimed by war and disease.
What about the other baby?
Who decided that stinking animal could be allowed in here, huh?
It's the 30s.
Guess I'll just be on my way.
Temper.
Jojo, be mindful of the other guests now, but teach him a lesson.
Oh. Man,
I was
Grandma
hoping you'd say
Arena's
that.
serious.
It's obvious that you do your fighting using brass knuckles.
Well,
You've no wounds, so the blood on your shirt is not from you. Therefore, you've just come from a fight. Since
Okay.
the blood is on your shirt and not that pink horror of a coat, it was taken off prior to the fight. And then, after
So it's
you
not in his
completed your
jacket.
assault, the knuckles came off, and that's when you proceeded to stow them away in your back pocket.
alright, he's smart.
You like that, huh? That'll teach you a lesson.
Sorry, you missed. What have you been punching?
Oh,
I
okay.
wasn't the one you were pummeling so happily.
I was gonna say.
Oh my god!
I can predict and counter anything your tiny brain is able to come up with. Do you understand that now, you simpleton?
Well, alright then.
It seems that Mr. Speedwagon has been murdered.
Aw.
Rumor is the cat who did it was some sort of Tibetan monk.
Some sort of monk? Could it be Straight-so?
All they're saying is that the bodies of Speedwagon
Man, getting to
and
the
his
point.
team washed up along.
Information like that is valuable to his organization, so
Yeah.
I'm inclined to listen to him. However,
Oh!
as true as that may be, you don't simply waltz over here and then just blurt out awful news to Granny Arena. Don't you see how badly upset you've made her with this news?
Yeah.
You are very thoughtless!
Damn.
I didn't understand what was going on. But these two had an unimaginable history.
Yeah. Arena wasn't even there for all of it. She was just there at the end.
Hey, Smokey, do you think this is true? Can girls really make them bigger? Woohoo!
Oh my
Let's
gosh.
see. Go from a AA cup to a C cup. Right, just a bunch of snake oil. Don't buy into it.
Come again?
I think $1.25
Ah.
a pair is too much.
That's straight so?
even if it is in plain sight on this city street, JoJo, I'll take your life long before you ever become a danger.
Or perhaps not.
Oh. Jeez.
Right out in public? Incredible!
Yeah.
We didn't even get the Tommy gun!
Yeah.
Shoot up the whole city!
He's so violent. Woo.
Yes, I was awaiting you, straight so.
Well, that's the ending.
That was on behalf of Speedwagon, but I don't think you'll go down so easily.
Yeah. Aw.
Our war has begun.
Ugh. Oh. Oh. The war has begun. Oh, man. Man, this sucks. I mean, I love it, you know, but it's like, just everything, you know? Straitso is our new villain. And he killed Speedwagon. Man. And man, we are further along than I thought we would be. I thought we were going to be following the kid, you know? I thought we were going to be following, you know, Irina and JoJo's child, not grandchild. Oh, man. Now, okay, they says, like, oh, you know, Irina was pregnant and had a son. But they didn't mention the fact that she had a baby already, you know? Because that's the thing is that, you know, we mentioned that last episode she hinted at the fact that she was pregnant, but she also had a baby, you know, from the ship. So it's like, what happened to that? I don't know. Oh my gosh. Man, killed Speedwagon. I was kind of hoping that it's like, okay, we're going to be following a new Joestar. So maybe Speedwagon, you know, he'll take up the mantle again, you know? He'll take up the mantle of best bro of the Joestar. But no, Speedwagon is dead. Only a few characters carry over from part 1. Irina being one of them, Speedwagon, who's now dead, and Straitso, who is now our villain, having admired Dio. Oh. Man, that... Now, this wasn't like, you know, the first episode where everything went off the rails immediately, but that there were some twists. There are some twists and turns in there, you know? Oh my gosh. Alright, we should go into the notes. The first thing I wrote down was 50 years. 50 years. 50 years later. It's been 50 years since the last episode. That is crazy. So we are not following JoJo and Irina's son. We are following their grandson, Joseph Joestar. And we are in New York. Well, we're in New York, but it seems like they did kind of say, like, they were just there to visit, basically. They were just there to visit Speedwagon. Which is why Joseph still has his accent, you know? So I don't think he was raised in New York. And so yeah, 50 years later, Speedwagon was a successful oil CEO, basically, which is pretty cool, actually. Especially, like, when you think about where he came from. It's like, he was a thug, you know? He was just some, dude, some bandit, basically, in London, who was reformed when he met the gentleman known as Joseph Joestar. So, the fact is, like, he really turned his life around meeting JoJo. I do like that. And yeah, so, let's see. So we have that. Tom Petty has passed on, and he passed everything on to Straitso, unfortunately, as we come to find out. And we are now following the grandson. Again, I didn't expect that. We are following the grandson of Jonathan and Irina, Joseph, still known as JoJo. Joseph Joestar. All right. Joseph is an interesting character, I have to say. Oh, excuse me. Joseph is an interesting character. Okay, first off, I like that he's not a carbon copy of Jonathan. I think that's really good. Because they could have done that, Because we only knew Jonathan for 9 episodes. When we boil it down, we only had Jonathan for 9 episodes, Now we're moving on now. So they could have just made Joseph a carbon copy of Jonathan, but they didn't, and I like that. Whereas it doesn't seem like, with Jonathan, it was all about him being a gentleman. That was his defining characteristic, really, was the fact that he was such a gentleman, Whereas with Joseph is different, I feel like maybe he has some of the inherent gentlemanness in there. Like, maybe he is somewhat gentlemanly. But at the same time, his defining characteristic, it seems like, is his temper, which is very interesting. So, yeah, his temper, which he's trying to control, and he acknowledges that he needs to control that. And at the beginning, we had, him taking on those 2 cops to save Smokey. Smokey, who looks exactly like Poco, maybe a little darker, but he looks exactly like Poco, so I'm assuming he's just going to be the new Poco. Although, technically, I guess he could be the new Speedwagon, So, yeah. But going against those 2 cops, which, yeah, those were very New York cops. I did like, going to New York, It was nice. But he did say, when he took on those 2, and so he has he already has hormone energy that he inherited from Jonathan, which is pretty cool. And he's the first Cinch Jonathan to show those abilities, which is very interesting. But he doesn't seem to have control over it. And from what it looks like, he's not going to get a Baron Zeppeli anytime soon. So if Straitso is just the last one, But he already inherently has hormone energy that he can use. However, he seems to only use it when he loses his temper, basically. So, like there, even though he knows that he can sort of control it, when he loses his temper, he knows how he can use it, So, he was able to, get the bottle cap over with his hormone, or, he knocked out the pilot and stuff. So I like that it's like he does have hormone energy, but he's not a master. He's not like Jonathan was. So, yeah. And it's all to do with his temper, which he does need to keep under control. And he acknowledges that he needs to keep it under control. And it's just interesting. And just like sort of the amount of violent that he is. Like how violent he is, Where, I don't know, just like his general temperament. Like, not caring about Speedwagon in the plane, or beating up the mafia guy and stuff. Like, he is prone to violence, which is interesting. Again, it's ungentlemanly. It's like, while he might have some inherent gentlemanness in him, which is, why he saved Smokey, it could also be, it's more that he doesn't have it. He doesn't have it more than he has it. Like, there's some that's inherent within him, but for the most part, yeah, he's kind of a little shit, honestly. I mean, he's a big shit. He's, what did they say, 6.5 feet tall. So yeah, his temper is very interesting. And it also, to add to the, not really being gentlemanly, when he was talking to Irina in the cab and being like, oh, was Speedwagon really, Jonathan's best friend, or was there a little something more going on? It's like, what the hell's wrong with you, man? Asshole kid, And then she just beats the shit out of him with her umbrella. It's like, I don't know. He's definitely interesting. I like him. I'm glad that he's different. Again, I'm glad that he's different from Jonathan, because that's good that you can now make these Joestars distinct from each other. But he might take a little getting used to, because, like, yeah, he is so different. He's not our dashing gentleman. He's kind of a punk, honestly. He's kind of a punk kid, who's got some gentlemanness, just from his upbringing, but he has a short temper. He's kind of rude sometimes, and he is prone to violence. So, yeah. I wrote down Straightso, the surprise villain I didn't see coming. So Straightso, when he saw how powerful Dio was, he envied that power and wanted it for himself. And so when, Speedwagon calls him up about, about finding all the masks, he takes it. He takes advantage of it. He kills everyone there, even Speedwagon, and uses their blood to activate the mask on him so he can become a vampire. Man, I immediately just, like, hate him so much. Maybe not as much as, like, Dio, but I don't know. The only thing is, like, I don't know if he's going to be as fun as Dio. Dio was crazy, So, I have no idea. I hope he's a lot of fun, but now with the long hairs, when he kind of de-aged, basically being a vampire, with all the long hairs, like, he's kind of looking like Alucard a bit. Both Alucards, both in Hellsing and in Castlevania, except in Castlevania, obviously, he's got white hair. So yeah, Straightso, our surprise villain, who he wants to be immortal, which it seems like this, because it's 50 years later, it's like he saw Dio's power and envied it, and then 50 years later, when he has an opportunity, he's going to take it, because now he's felt the effects of, aging, old age, basically. Which does make sense, which can honestly explain why he didn't go for the mask 50 years ago, Because he could have. He could have gone for the mask 50 years ago, but he didn't. He let Speedwagon destroy it. So, which, that's the other thing. It's like, Speedwagon brought in Straightso so that he could use his Hamon to destroy all the masks. Dude, you were the one, Speedwagon was the one last episode who took a sledgehammer and just broke the mask, and that was it, It's stone. Just get a bunch of sledgehammers and just break them. And then just go tell Irina and Straightso, be like, oh yeah, I found a bunch of masks. I destroyed them, though. Straightso would probably be pissed, but oh well. But instead, you gave Straightso the opportunity. So yeah, and then Speedwagon died. He killed Speedwagon. This is, I don't know. Is Speedwagon the new dog? Like how in episode 1, JoJo's dog died. It's like, is that now it's Speedwagon? It kind of is, honestly. It kind of is, you know? Like, instead of the dog for Jonathan, now for Joseph, it's Speedwagon. For which Joseph unloaded a complete Tommy gun on Straitso, which is crazy. So, yeah. Speedwagon died. Man, that sucked. Now, granted, he had to have been in his 80s by now, you know? He had to have been in his 80s, but, like, the fact, because at the beginning where it's like, it's been 50 years, but here's Speedwagon. It's like, yeah, we still have Speedwagon 50 years later. Not everything's different. It's like, alright, cool, and it's like, oh, no. No, Speedwagon's dead now. It's like, oh, come on! So, Straitso, like it does establish Straitso as a serious villain because it's like, you motherfucker, you killed Speedwagon, you know? Oh, boy. I wrote down prediction. Another interesting thing about Joseph is that he is brilliant at prediction. He's honestly brilliant at fighting, you know? So he's brilliant at prediction, and this serves him, like, with the, you know, the racist guy, you know, figuring out where... He's kind of like Sherlock, honestly. Like, he just looks at a guy and deduces everything, and then, you know, spouts out his deductions and stuff. So, yeah. He's kind of like Sherlock. You know what? It's like if you crossed Sherlock, Jonathan Joestar, and Trevor Belmont. If you cross all three of them together, you get Joseph Joestar. Yeah, that's it. That's totally it. Yeah. So yeah, the prediction thing was very interesting. I'll be curious to see how that comes back, you know, how would they use that in the future. And then the last thing I wrote down was war. The war between Joseph Joestar and Straitso. I hope this doesn't end with Joseph's death like it did with Jonathan. Like, maybe this one, like, he'll live to an old age, and then, you know, we'll just get another Joestar. I don't know. But, yep, the war is on. The war with Straitso. And this one's gonna be crazy, I know. The whole show is crazy, but I am very excited to see where we are going from here, even if it means we can't have Speedwagon. R.I.P. Speedwagon. R.I.P. Ario. With that all being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my JoJo's Bizarre Adventure reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.